Good morning, friends. So, welcome to day 2 of your miracle morning. So, I want to know, how did it go for you last night? Did you set your bedtime intention? Did you tell yourself, I'm going to go to sleep and I'm going to have an amazing rest and I'm going to wake up feeling recharged and ready to go? Did you? I want to know. So, let me know how that went, if you applied it, if you've gotten your journal, and if you listened to that Darren Hardy clip that I shared. So, I'm going to share what's happening in my life. So I went to bed last night. I stayed up too late. I still need to work on that. I still need to trim the fat and I need to go to bed a little bit earlier, but I'm reading another great personal development book. And so I was like, I just need to get a few pages in and then I can check that box, right? I can check my box. So I did that. I stayed up till like 10:30 and then I had 2 wake ups last night with Connor and it was not restful sleep. And I actually got up when Marshall's alarm went off at 4:38. But I feel fine, right? Because I set that intention for myself last night when I went to bed that I was going to have a really restful night. And even though it honestly wasn't that restful, I could have, like the old me would have been like, I'm just go back to sleep and for another hour until you normally get up, which I usually get up at 5:39. I don't know what's up with the 9s, but that's the time I usually get up. So I was like, you could get up then, but you're actually awake right now, so you're better off just getting up and getting things done. And so I didn't dive right into my miracle morning because for me, I need quiet. I don't want to hear my husband moving around. It annoys me if I hear my kids up. It's something I'm working on. So I was like, a few things that have been gnawing at me is my unfolded laundry, and I have a podcast that I've been really wanting to dive into. So I decided that I would do part of my miracle morning getting out of bed routine, right? I put on my workout clothes right away. I got my cup of coffee. I filled my jug of water. And then I went into my room and I closed the door and I conquered that laundry. I own that laundry today. There's a bunch in the dryer right now, so let's not get too excited. But still, I did that and then I was like, this is awesome. So then I cleaned my bathroom. I scrubbed my bathtub. I was like, wow, I got all these boxes checked. And it was 5:30 by the time I actually sat down in a quiet house to do my miracle morning. Okay, so now that I've shared all that with you, you're like, I don't really care. Let's get to this. So today is day 2, and we're going to dig into the very first step of your miracle morning. Okay, so you hopefully watched yesterday's video, and you are going to apply your nighttime rituals, your getting out of bed rituals, right? So today, what we're going to talk about is the very first one of 6 practices that are guaranteed to save you from a life of unfulfilled potential. Are you mediocre today, my friend? Are you average? No, you're not. You're epic and you're a rock star in the making, and that is why you are here in our tribe and you're showing up. Okay, so the first quote that I just absolutely love in this chapter, this is page 49 if you were in the book. The book we're reading. Hopefully you know which book we're reading, The Miracle Morning. Okay. Success is something you attract by the person you become. Good old Jim Rohn said that. Success is something you attract by the person that you become. And your life is totally not what you think it is. So I was rereading my book last night, and I don't remember this from the first time I went through this book, and I didn't highlight any of it. So clearly it just, right? Like I was like, let's do this. Let's get to the meat. Like, tell me what to do, Hal. But this was a big takeaway for me, okay? That most likely you're thinking about your current situation being your life. We all do that. My kid didn't sleep. I've got all this laundry. I'm up to my ears in debt. Like whatever it is for you, that is not your life, okay? That's your situation. Your situation is your external circumstances, the events, the people, and the places that surround you. That is your life situation. That is not your life. No, it is not, okay? It's not who you are. Your life is who you are on your deepest level, my friends. And we're going to take that to the next level so we can hit that level 10 life. I just said level like way too many times. But so your life is who you are on your deepest level, and it's made up of internal components, your attitudes, your mindsets, your belief set, right? This is what makes you up on the inside. This is who your life is at its core. Many of us can't get to a level 10 life because of the demands of our life situation, which leads us to like regret and shoulding all over ourselves. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. I should look this way. I should have had this success. I should be in this relationship. Should's a dirty word. Okay, so when you're shoulding all over yourself and you're not living to your fullest potential, then you're going to have all this unfulfilled potential. You're going to have mediocrity, all of these sad panda things that we're breaking up with. We're choosing to break up with because your life is your choice. How awesome is that? Okay, so when you change your inner life, which is what we're going to be doing by digging into all this personal development and all these tools, adding them to your tool chest, your outer life, your life situation will start to reflect all of that. Okay, so the number one step of your miracle morning after you've gotten out of bed, right? You've brushed your teeth, you've gotten your water, you have put on your workout clothes. The number one step in your SAVERS, because that's his, acronym, is silence. Okay, so silence comes in many forms. It's purposeful silence that we're getting at. It's not like you're giving yourself the silent treatment or anything like that, right? So it could be prayer, it could be meditation, it could be grateful thinking, like you're just thinking of all the things you're grateful for. It could be mindful breathing, right? So for me, I have a busy brain and I have a busy body. I'm just a busy person. It's a problem sometimes. And so I've been doing this now for a couple months, and like meditation is something that's just not natural to me. It's really hard, and I'm sitting there. I always sit cross-legged because that's the first step, right? You don't want to do this in your bed or on a comfy couch, really, because if you're tired, which you might be initially, it's easy to get relaxed and get kind of slumpy, and then next thing you know, you're taking a nap. No, okay, this is mindful silence. This is silence with a purpose, okay? So I like to sit cross-legged on my living room floor. And quite frankly, some days some days things just don't feel good. And so I will lay down on the floor, but I've never fallen asleep yet. I don't know. So do what works for you, okay? If you think you're going to fall asleep, sit yourself up. Otherwise, just, good morning. Yeah, so the purpose of having purposeful silence, right? It's about being calm and peaceful and rejuvenating yourself. So if you think of words that typically describe your morning, and I think we're all in the same boat, it's usually things like you're rushed or hectic or you're stressed out or you're just like go, 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 go. Or maybe it's like you're just lethargic and you can't get it together depending on what kind of waker-upper you are. The whole point of starting your miracle morning off with silence is to auto-correct that. It's to audit it. It's to get away from that hectic, stressed, go, 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 oh my gosh, the sky is falling mentality to having some peace, right? To feeling like you're in charge of your day, to take a few minutes to fill your cup. So he probably covers this at some point in here, but I had to learn, I can't have my phone with me when I first start my miracle morning because the temptation, the first thing I used to do, even in bed, I would get on my Facebook and I would look at my messages and I would scroll Instagram, and before you know it, you're lost in the scroll and you just wasted all of this purposeful time. So I don't use my phone. You might need to use your phone if you want to do a meditation app. Those of you who have used those apps, I want you to drop your suggestions below because I personally haven't used them, so I can't speak to them. But I've heard good things about Headspace. I think Calm is another one. I know that there's a few different ones, and so drop those below for people who are looking for that. But if you're like me and it's a slippery slope and you start to get on Instagram and then you're on Facebook and before you know it, your window is gone because you're Facebooking it or whatever, right? Don't get your phone out. You don't need your phone. You don't need your phone. Some people like to listen to relaxing music. Personally, I like silence, and because I have such a busy brain, this is what works for me. So I close my eyes, I sit up cross-legged, I put my hands on my knees, whatever works for you, right? But I have to focus over and over on taking a deep breath and just blowing it out. I have to focus on that. Otherwise, I've got, don't forget this. Don't forget to add that to the list. Did I do that? Blah, 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 right? I have all these thoughts, and I guess I'm not guessing. I know this is normal. This is part of my journey, and probably if you're new to this, you'll be struggling with it as well. So if you are a pro at meditation or the silence piece, please drop your suggestions and your best practices below so that we can all learn because it can be tricky. Okay, so Hal gives a list of things that fall into the silence category. So it could be meditation like we just talked about. It could be prayer, it could be reflection, it could be deep breathing, it could be gratitude, it could be a combination of those depending on what works for you. That's the beauty of this. It is such a personal experience. It's going to work for you. And when I say I meditate in the morning, it feels like I'm here for 20 minutes, but I know it's probably 3. maybe 2 today, because I had gotten some things up and I had quietly done some work. I checked some boxes that I wasn't on social media, but they were boxes in my housewife life that I wanted to get done that have been gnawing at me, that keep rolling from list to list. The fact that I got my laundry done and my bathroom cleaned and that podcast listened to, I felt good. Like, it was easier to sit there and be like, I need this silence right now because I've already checked a few boxes. I haven't been on my phone, but now I can really focus on becoming the best Sarah I can be today. So today was kind of a freak morning. We'll see what happens. I don't know, but that is what worked for me. So again, you want to be doing your silence practice, whatever that looks like for you, out of bed. I have a couple friends who they live in houses that are really like noisy houses, you know, they have creaky floors. And so for her, she can't necessarily get out of bed and leave the room. Otherwise, her whole family would be on alert. I don't know if you have a kid like that. I have a kid like that. And so again, make it work for you. Like, sit up in your bed. Hopefully you won't fall asleep. And if you do, well, then we need to figure out something different. But this is like, there's growing pains, right? You're going to wiggle and figure out what works for you. But he says it's best to do just to be out of bed. And for me, I have everything set up the night before. So I have my journal. I have a why statement that I read every morning. And it's just like the reasons I am showing up to my life, the things I want. How sad would I be if 5 years down the road, I didn't take the action I needed to take today? Those are part of different steps, but I have all the tools I need, is what I'm telling you, right there. So it's not like you start with your silence and then you're like, oh, I've got to go get that. No, you're going to have all your tools set up and pre-staged the night before. And I usually do it in my living room. But I have one of those kids that's like, oh, like she can hear anything. Like, there's no sound, but she just like knows when people are awake. So I use a salt lamp in the winter. I turn on my salt lamp and I light one candle, and it's really nice. Like, it's just relaxing. I really like, or I turn on Christmas lights. Like, it's super, super zen. And I like that. Plus, it lets less people know I'm awake. So that's good. Okay. So study after study shows that meditation is more effective than medication. So if you're really struggling in your life with ADHD or with high blood pressure or with anything really, I'm not a doctor and I'm not claiming this will heal you, but why wouldn't you try something holistically that could completely change your life? Right? Just try it. See what happens. Maybe you'll have a miracle, okay? Regular meditation is linked to improvement in your metabolism, your blood pressure, your brain activity. It can alleviate stress and pain and promote sleep. It enhances your focus and concentration and requires little time. So like I said, I only do it, really quite honestly, I only probably do it for 3 minutes. I've never timed myself, but I know myself. And I move my morning rituals around to fit my life best. But we'll dig into that at the end of all of this after we go through all the different steps. So today is just letter S, which is silence, meditation, whatever that looks like for you. But it's the most peaceful, perfect way to start your day. I really agree with that. It really, really does help me get my focus right and just take some time to be present in my own life. Okay, so if you have an app that you have used, I want you to drop it below if it's been helpful or successful for you, okay? I'm gonna give you a couple calls to action. Today's a lot shorter because, right, all we're talking about is silence today. So your calls to action, if you haven't yet already, I want you to revisit yesterday's, and I want you to have a bedtime affirmation or a bedtime plan so that you are maybe doing a gratitude dump or whatever right before you fall asleep, or you're having a prayer of thankfulness, or you're setting that sleep intention that you're going to be rested and you're going to feel awesome in the morning and you're going to be so excited to start your miracle morning and to own your day. That is your choice. And whatever you meditate on at bedtime is what is the first thoughts you're going to have in the morning. So it really does matter. Why this matters, if you haven't figured that out yet, you're still going to chew on that. You're going to chew on that this whole time to figure out why this matters, because it's just like fitness or anything else. If you don't know why you're doing it, if you're just doing it because you think you should, you're not going to stick with it, because some days are going to be trickier, some days are going to be harder, some days will be easy, but let's be real. A lot of times we have a lot of opposition just in life. It's just normal, right? So you need to know why this matters for you, not for me, why this matters for you and why you need this in your life, okay? I want you to be using that wake up ritual. You're going to keep doing these. We're going to keep stacking them day by day by Legos or blocks or whatever is your toy of choice. I don't know. And then your goal for tomorrow morning is to just meditate. I want you to meditate make it a goal to meditate for 5 minutes. If you want to be an overachiever and do it for 10 or longer, that's totally awesome. But I'm going to make it my goal to meditate for 5 minutes. So drop it below. It's not too late to add someone into this group if you feel like that they could benefit from it. I feel like this is just one of those things that can completely change your life. Completely change your life. So tag someone if you know they need it. Drop your apps below if you're using them, or just let us know how it's going for you. All right, my friends, I will see you all here tomorrow at 9. Make today fantastic and amazing, because you're the driver of your bus.